Hey, Glampers, we are halfway through our course. Can you believe it? We are at week 5 of our 8-week course. The first 3 weeks were all about glamping. Then we did 1 week last week about real structures of what you would be putting on your property. And in this week, we're going to be delving into a 2-week session on everything about properties. I want you to either find the ideal property or turn your property into the ideal property for your safe, legal, and profitable glamping operation for you. Now, before we dig in, let me talk about the principles that you've been learning. The first half of this course, you were learning principles as we were discussing everything about glamping. First of all, you are overcoming your fears, your fear of government, your fear of finances, and your fear of the unknown. We are in a very creative market in glamping, and that inherently has a bunch of fears, and I'm glad you're overcoming them. You also learned about my modeling technique. I'm sharing so much about me, not to boast or brag, but to show you how it's done. And you should make a habit of that. It makes life a lot easier when you just follow the experts who have gone before you and then ride in their wake and experience all the success that they're experiencing. And it was fun to go into the history of glamping, showing you how really it's government resistance is how glamping started off. It was a resistance trying to resist a tax and a luxury tax. And glamping was born in the UK, and it's taken off here in America. It's a fun history that I'm glad you got a good taste of that, where we came from and where this is going. But probably most importantly is to let the research guide you to really dig deep into research and understand experts and the studies that are done to build your glamping operation based off of what the research shows you rather than what you're dreaming up in your head. In the third week, positioned you. Where are you? Are you a level 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'm not even a level 4, but I'm thinking about it, and you're probably a level 1 or a level 2 and want to move up. Or being content with the level that you're in is fine too. The idea is that you know where you position in this market of glamping. And last week, we got into the incredibly creative structures that are available to you. I hope you're thinking about what you want to build on your property or expand on your property. We inherently think outside the box. It's a fun to be in. However, there is a box, and that box is called the government. And a lot of today, we are going to be going over how to turn your property into a legal property and understanding the jurisdictions and the zoning districts that you can be a part of. And I want you to know this is what differentiates the glamping guy from other glamping gurus that are out there, is that there are some who insist that you have everything permitted all at once and all your ducks in a row and before you start anything. And I'm really not in that camp. Even the American Glamping Association, of which I'm a loyal member of, and I speak at their conference, they exhaust in my humble opinion, the newbie, scaring them to death that perhaps they might be doing something illegal on their property. You might be shut down if you don't have everything applied for and everything all your ducks in a row. And this is too bad, really, because the message keeps good people like you and me from ever starting. Now, this is the government principle, and it's one I have to live in, and so do you. Both of us have to live in a county or in a jurisdiction of some sort. I live in El Paso County, Colorado, and I must conform to the rules and regulations as I am in their legal jurisdiction. However, I don't live by the government principle. I live by the principles of freedom and fulfillment. And these principles sometimes come into conflict. And when they do, I do all I can to stay free and fulfilled as I'm building my glamping operation. I'm revealing something to just you, my students. I don't post this stuff on YouTube or really talk very publicly about it. And especially I don't talk to my yellow jackets or the government officials and the bureaucrats. I don't talk this way to them. But let me be clear with you. There are way too many government regulations out there in the world today that prohibit landowners from developing their land as they see fit. We're doing a wonderful thing in the glamping world for society. And I am of the mind that there should be fewer regulations. We should be freer to do what we want to do on our property. It's not shame on you for not following every code in the 2,000-page document that's online. It's shame on the code that's 2,000 pages long. It's exhausting and it's complicated in the first place, and it shouldn't be. However, There are a way things are, and there are a way things should be. And I tend to get a little crazy when I focus on the way things should be. But the former still holds a lot of promise. I can run a successful, safe, legal, and profitable glamping operation within the confines of government and within the box that they put before me. And so can you. In today's videos, I will be sharing you my story, more detail of my story, and then I'm going to go into the various jurisdictions of government as well as the departments that you will likely be dealing with. And then I have a discussion on zone districts that are popular around the country. The whole country has different vocabulary for a lot of these, but generally the videos that you're going to be watching in this lesson will help you understand what's going on in your particular area of the country. By the end of this lesson, you will have a solid understanding of what lay before you so that you can build your safe, legal, and profitable glamping operation in your area of the country. All right, let's get going.